The world is a business, Mr. Beale. It has been since man crawled out of the slime.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cinema Slime Podcast. I'm your host, Harrison, and today we are going to be going over the final episode of Season 1 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, entitled The Marrow. The Hand of the King is dead, the tourney is over, and the fate of Dunk and Egg's friendship will be revealed. As a quick reminder, this review will be full of spoilers, but I'm also approaching this review as if this is the only A Song of Ice and Fire media you have ever seen or watched. We open up to Dunk laying under the elm tree that has been his home for the duration of the tournament, with Lionel Baratheon by his side. While Lionel talks of Dunk joining him in the Stormlands and having adventures that would be a great little spin-off series, by the way, we get this maester wafting some smoke over Dunk's wounds and smelling them with just revulsion. Dunk is not in good shape. And it's impressive how crappy he looks, honestly. I mean, after the trial, there's no movie magic here to make him look any better. He just looks like he got the shit beaten out of him. Dunk has that 1,000-yard stare throughout all of this, and the maester is just no help. I mean, for even an itchy asshole is beyond his abilities, according to Lionel. Lionel pushes off of Dunk's bloodied leg to take a piss in the stream as Dunk laments the fact that Baelor gave his life for him and risked everything. Lionel can't stand this. Fuck that. Fuck you. I fought for you. The Apple Boy fought for you. Your prince fought against men who swore to protect him. He risked nothing. The gods don't favor a fraud. And Dunk responds, then why have they favored me? Dunk is absolutely having an identity crisis, not only with his views on the Targaryens and the royal house, but possibly his faith as well. Why is Dunk still alive? Why didn't the gods intervene? Am I supposed to be something great? How could I be an effective tool in the hands of the gods over Baelor, the Hand of the King, that people say is one of the greatest men alive today? He came to this tournament with the goal of forging his own path and finding an identity for himself, a true and honest knight. And now he feels as if he is back, standing over the grave of Sir Arlen, a lost knight with nowhere to go. Sir Lionel declares that he plans to depart after the roast. And then we get this really quick cut to the funeral pyre. And I think it's got to be one of the greatest transitions in all of A Song of Ice and Fire. I think it's a huge mood shift. It's strong. It's contrasting. It's just hilarious as well. I just think it's interesting that there's so many different contrasting, conflicting views on the event of Baelor being killed and his funeral right now. While Lionel can mark off another dead dragon from his list, Maekar is standing over his brother's funeral pyre and is just absolutely devastated. Dunk then makes the travel to the conclusion of the funeral, and that's not an easy stroll. They show that it is quite a hike to get there, and I think that just shows how important it was for Dunk to be there and the grit that he really has. Dunk speaks to Valar, the son of Baelor, who has remained behind after the funeral. Dunk offers his sincerest apologies, praises his father, but we get yet another moment where Dunk must be questioning his whole world and destiny. He had it in him to be the greatest king since Aegon the Dragon. Why would the gods take him and leave you? At this point, Dunk must be wondering if there really is something he is supposed to do with his life. Dunk heads back into camp, and there seems to be this division of people, those who see him as the man who got Baelor Targaryen killed, or the man who stood up against the Targaryen regime and lived to tell the tale. Luckily, throughout all of this, he still has Raymond Fossaway to get him through this, along with a new wife, Rowan, the red-headed sex worker from the first episode, who turns out is with child. According to Raymond, he got her pregnant just the other day. And with that stare from Rowan that is saying, "Go with it, brother," Dunk is summoned to appear in front of Maekar. The sorrow in the room is so heavy on so many fronts. Maekar has chosen to send Aerion to the east to get him away from Westeros and hopefully to improve himself. One of the many sons he seems to have lost or been disappointed in. We then get this very vulnerable moment with Maekar that hits you in the gut. He'll always be known as the man who killed his brother. It's not true, and the gods know that. But he will hear whispers wherever he goes. When anything goes wrong, it'll be Maekar's fault. Baelor wouldn't have let that happen, they will say. Absolutely everything in this guy's world is falling apart, and he's trying to fit the pieces back together. He even offers Dunk a position at Summerhall to appease Egg and maybe have someone he obviously admires to be his guide. I think we see the kind of transformation that Dunk has gone through in this moment. He just got the offer to swear his sword to the royal house, be stationed at Summerhall, and be trained by a true master at arms, and his squire will be of the royal family. I think episode 1 Dunk would have accepted this position in a second, but this Dunk has seen what kind of knights come out of the royal family in Arion. He has seen what truly makes a knight, and his vision of the Targaryens are just in ruins. When Dunk declines and says that he is through with princes, I think there's also a layer of not wanting to harm Aeg in any way. Dunk got involved with a prince, and it led to one of the greatest pains of all, Baelor dying in his arms for Dunk, and I think he's just doing anything he can to avoid that. We get flashbacks of Sir Arlen doing a fake-out death, and Dunk wondering why he never knighted him. We get a shot of Beesbury's wake with a really intense coffin that is used as a beehive. I mean, how cool is that? Then we make our way back into the castle with Aeg walking up to a mirror and realizing that his hair has begun to grow back. That white hair just barely poking out the top of his head. I think this is showing us that even in this short amount of time that he has been back with his family, it's already influencing him. Aeg told Arion that he shaved it off so he wouldn't look like him, and that white hair is reminding Aeg of who he is. Maybe his destiny is already set, and maybe he just needs to accept who he is and move on. He grabs the knife that's spearing his fish dinner and makes his way to Arion's room. Maybe he should be as cruel as Arion. Maybe Aeg is feeling hopeless in this moment. There's no way to outrun who he is and what is expected of him. He had a way to escape it all with Dunk, and his family brought him back into the fold, kicking and screaming. I think this scene is a small glimpse into what Aeg would become if he does stay with his family. Before he reaches the bed, though, Maekar stands up from the chair he sits in to watch over his son. Even though I'm a father myself, I don't think I can even comprehend the feeling of having your son hating his brother so much that he would want to kill him. Hey everybody, just popping in real quick. If you could hit that like and subscribe button, that would really help us out a lot. But either way, let's get back to the show. Maekar's family is really falling apart, and he needs to do something to bind it all back together. Dunk then meets with Maekar and says that he will take Aeg as a squire, but he won't bring him to Summerhall, but bring him on the road and sleep in the hedges and eat salt beef. Dunk realizes that he doesn't want Aeg to become corrupted like Arion was. We learn that Arion used to be a good kid, but his surroundings corrupted him, and Dunk cannot fathom the thought of Aeg turning into someone like that. Maekar painfully refuses. He is my last son. He is the last chance I have to raise a child in the way of the Targaryens, to take on the responsibility of the throne. I cannot let him just wander Westeros and sleep in the hedges. I can't. Dunk saddles his horses and goes to the elm that inspired the sigil that now represents him. We learned in the flashback that in the town of Pennytree, when a young man would go off to war, he would take a penny and nail it to the tree in the center of the town. When he would return, he would find that penny and take it off the tree. He tells us that there's scarce an empty space on that tree anymore. Dunk nails a penny to that elm tree, and I think it's sort of a tribute to Sir Arlen and the lessons he taught him. I think it's also a way for Dunk to kind of close a chapter of his life and begin a new one, and I could kind of see Dunk coming back and returning to that tree to take that penny down when he feels he has earned it, or he has become the image of a knight that he wants to become. As he's about to head out, Aeg arrives in his travel clothes and tells Dunk that his father has sent him to squire for Dunk. They saddle up, and Aeg says that he heard there are good puppet shows in Dorne, which is a nice little hint that we might see Tanzel again. As they depart into a new world and a new part of their lives, we see Sir Arlen riding behind them, and then begins to ride off in another direction, letting Dunk be on his own, and for him to forge the path ahead. One of the most beautiful scenes, and a great representation of character growth for Dunk. I think this is one of the cleanest and most emotionally hard-hitting conclusions to a series that I have seen in a very long time. It felt like a proper wrap-up that presents to us a story that will continue onward, but doesn't leave us hanging in a way that felt cheap. This series had made me so hopeful for the future of this franchise, and it brought back those same feelings I had when I finished season 1 of the original Game of Thrones series. This is a 5 out of 5 for me, with the scene where Aeg is going to kill his brother as the slimiest scene easily. I am really excited for the next season, which we are told will be coming out yearly, and I have really high hopes for anything put out by this team of showrunners. That concludes our episode-by-episode review of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. While I was a little disappointed that I wasn't able to stick to a strong, consistent schedule, it feels very satisfying to have gone through each one and really put my thoughts and feelings out for each episode. If you're interested in more content from me and my two brothers, make sure you check out the rest of the podcast and YouTube channel. We have a really great time watching movies and enjoying each other's company and deep diving films. This type of solo content from me will be back, potentially in a new different format. I haven't fully decided what I want to do next, but if you have any suggestions suggestions for TV shows or films that you want to hear my thoughts on alone, let me know and I'll definitely consider them. I'm thinking I might do something in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or maybe pick up a highly rated TV show that I haven't watched yet, or maybe I'll stay in the world of Ice and Fire. We'll see. I'll have to come up with a couple ideas. So many choices and so little time, unfortunately. I wanted to say thank you all to my listeners. Keep your heads up, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
That's a wrap on another episode of Cinema Slime. Be sure to watch the next film before next Wednesday. We had a blast and hope you enjoyed it. This episode was a production by your hosts, Harrison Jensen, Renn Jensen, and Scott Sheppard. This is a group effort, and seriously, thank you. Thank you for listening and watching us however you found us. We really appreciate it. Help us grow by leaving a comment, a 5-star review, subscribe, and share an episode with another cinema lover. Also, let's connect. Find us on Discord and Letterboxd for film discussions, reviews, and recommendations. Also, check us out on social media. We're always posting clips, film rabbit holes we're going down, and interesting stuff. And you can also show your support by using Buy Me a Coffee, and we'll give you a shout out if you'd like. All links can be found in the episode notes. Goodbye.